Why you wanna run away? Why you gotta be afraid?
Remember the last vlog where I said I thought it was warm enough we wouldn't have to deal with any of this snow again? Well, it snowed a little bit more. Now it's raining, but I'm just over winter. My car says it's 57. That's a lie. The ambient temperature needs to get fixed. It's actually 35. High of 40 today. Hello, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Monica. I am a 6th year special education teacher in Wisconsin. It's a fun time. I'm considered cross-categorical. I have some students that are more of like a self-contained environment. I have others that are like a push-in, a pull-up model. I have other students that are like purely supported by paras. It's a busy job, and I really like that though, because no day is ever the same. So today is Wednesday, March 22nd. It is technically spring break, but we had 8 snow days this year. So we had some days where the students were considered asynchronous. They were working on paper packets that we had sent home previously because we knew it was going to be a snow apocalypse those couple days. But in our contract for teachers, it says we have to be at school a set amount of time. So we have to make those up or use personal time. So my plan is to only use today as the day that I go in, because I would have probably gone in this Saturday anyway. So I figured I might as well go in and get paid. And then the other 3 days that we have to make up, I'll just use personal time, which is fine because I think I lost 2 days of personal time in January. Like when it switches from December to January, it's a new year. I think I lost personal days because I don't ever miss school. I'm never sick. I don't take days off because it's just not good for my students, and I know I'm not going to get a sub anyways, and so I just don't like stress about it. If I got an appointment to go to, I make sure it's after school. Last year and this year, I knew I was not going to be able to get a sub ever. Yeah, there's a sub teacher shortage, but also just the environment of my classroom is a little bit more difficult this year for people that are a newcomer to the room. So that's a small little sacrifice I knew I would have to make. So next year I'll probably be able to have personal days again and have time off and not have to worry about whatever chaos is being left in my classroom. But hello, we're going to school. Technically our contract time is 7:15 to 3:15, but these days that we're making up, it's fine as long as you're putting in that same amount of time. So it's 7:30 now. I'm hoping to do like an 8:15 to 4:15 situation, which is fine because I'm generally at school till about 5 o'clock anyways. I thought that I would do kind of like a mock day in my life. I have so many people that ask me on Instagram, like, what does the classroom schedule look like? Like, how do you run your room? And it's just so busy. When the kids are there, I've got 3 paras. I have 2 students from the university that are popping in from 8 to 10:30, just observing for their program. And I have 0 time to be like, oh, hey, this is what a math lesson looks like. But today I have to make the copies for all these programs and get things prepared anyway. So I figured I would walk you guys through what a day in my teacher life would look like, all the curriculums and programs and resources that I'm using, just not with the kids there, just talk you through it. And then I'm going to do a little rearranging. I kind of had a plan in my head of some furniture I wanted to just move around and see if I liked it. And then I have an IEP to write. And then hopefully it'll be 4:15 and it'll be great and time to go. So let's go get some coffee. Sounds good. And then I'll do a medium of the dragon fruit sparkling. I would like to know why there's such a giant puddle right here, because I'm pretty sure that drain looks nice and open. Wouldn't that be funny if they constructed the pavement wrong and it's lower? I'm invested. This is why math is important, my friend. It can't get in there. So normally we walk in and the room is somewhat of this same mess because that's just how I leave it. This is like my work in progress / all the food that we've been cooking with and using. Dishes that need to be done like all the time. This is a kid who likes his string cheese melted. So this is what I normally get, the campfire mocha cooler with milk chocolate. It's delicious. This is something new I'm trying. I'm looking for a refresher type option to like replace the Starbucks one, and the Caribou is closer to school in my house. So if I could get into more Caribou coffee items that I like, that'd be great. But I don't know. Starbucks is just a little bit more customizable than Caribou. So normally I get here about 7. I have 2 pairs that work 7:15 to 2:45, and then I have another that works 7:15 to 1. And usually there's 1 para here at the same time that I get in here, and we have 20 minutes of that prep time in the morning before the students get off the buses, and we're technically supposed to be in contact with them. And it's my least
productive time of the day, just because I'm here talking with people and I don't get anything done because, you know, there's sometimes 4 adults in this room. We get nothing done.
Outfit of the day, for those that care, this is a Hello headband. It's the knot kind, so you can wear the knot in the front or the back. Phone case is Shein. This hoodie is an Etsy one. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. This is a really old Target athletic tank top. These leggings are Shein. I like this one because it's got the pocket right there. Everybody likes a pocket. They're supposed to be full length, but I'm a very tall human being, so it looks capri. And some Nike Air Force Ones that kind of match the outfit. It's great. So this cube and this cube used to be right here, kind of creating like an island, but we really weren't even using it as an island. It just became my junk collecting area. So we're fixing that, and it'll give us just a little bit more access. We really weren't cooking on the shelves. We would just come over to the table anyway. So I'm gonna scoot the table over a little bit more this way, so then it's not right here. And then obviously this stuff goes right here. But I really like how like symmetrical it is. So here's the lunch I brought. I love this kind. It's sugar cookie. They only sell it in the small bags, and that's probably for the best, because if I had a full bag at my disposal, I would probably eat it all. Got some ramen, yummy, some cookies. This is a really good pink lemonade if you care about like your sugary calorie intake. I tried it once from a coworker and I really liked it, and so I continue buying it. Obviously I've dropped it. I don't necessarily care about my calories or my sugar, hence drink number 1. Drink number 2. I like this because I have a type 1 diabetic in my class. So if we're doing something that needs a sweet drink, I'll get him one of these. This is one of my favorites. Cookies and cream from Barbella. Delicious. And then we have our water. And then I have this kind, which is kind of like a Girl Scout cookie. I don't ever plan a lunch. I just eat whatever snacks I got laying around, because that's why I eat school lunch. I don't want to make food for myself. So about 7:40, I have a student come in to start math with me. I do have a student who comes right in from when his parents drop him off, having like a quiet, soft start to the day. He's either doing a Peppa Pig app on his iPad, a puzzle app, or he's looking at his David books. So he really likes this one. Mostly because it's very repetitive and he likes the sounds. So he can just do this over and over and over again, and it's just very repetitive. He's a big fan of it. And then there's so very interactive. I mean, not necessarily educational at all, but it's very soothing for him. This one, so there's the Peppa one I was talking about, but he likes this one too. So I started this when he was younger, just to get him to start forming his letters when he was in kindergarten. And now he likes this app so much that he chooses to do it for fun. He likes a lot of this that you can do to move it around. And then he'll go to the next one. Move it around. Oops. So they have numbers, they have letters. You can get it into cursive too, but I don't have the cursive version. They have different shapes and different things that you can work on. You can also export your own words in here. Miss Shear. And if you get it wrong, it'll just keep dinging at you, but it'll show you the path. It's really cool. I have the paid version of this. So those are the ones that he's normally doing. Dino, Writing Wizard, Paw Patrol, or this Peppa one right here. And that student doesn't eat breakfast ever, so he does that instead of eating breakfast. Most of the students do eat breakfast. If they don't have free or reduced lunch, then it's 50 cents, so that's cheap enough. So when the bell rings, it's about 7:40, and then I have 2 students. That student stays and does math with me, and then another student comes in and we do connecting math concept. So like this is kind of where I keep all of the materials that we're using for academics. This is all the hands-on materials for unique learning systems. I have these bins right here. I'll talk about them when we get to them. And then right here are kind of my manuals for intensive interventions that we're doing. And then these are just things that I'm using with students a lot. Pretty much the entire school is doing morning meeting except for these 2 students. My one doesn't care for morning meeting, and the other, we just need to get his math intervention in so that he doesn't miss any exciting parts of his day.
Connecting Math Concepts does have a CD version or an online component, but because I just have the 2 students, I'm generally just drawing out the things that the displays want you to use. So there's the one workbook like this, and then I just copy pages out of it for the 2 kids. Like so. So this is Mondays. So we go to 64. So number families, it doesn't have the big number, so you know you have to plus. Right here, it's missing a small number, so you know you have to minus. And the students all know this. Blue is everything that I'm saying. We talk about these, so like this I would draw on the table. We do verbal counting, and then it's time for the workbook. So then I have university students that come in from about 8 to 10:30 or so. So one will take him, and the other will take this kid. So I've been teaching the lesson, and they take the students to do like the workbook portion. You'll see though, like part 6, that means it's a story problem. So there are times that you have to reference back to the manual. So you're gonna write the symbols for word problems and columns, and then we're gonna work them. Listen, there's 54 pancakes on the table. Then the girls ate 22 of them. How many were left? And etc. And then you just keep going. Depending on the day we have time left, we'll either do extra clockwork or we're working on expanded form right now. And then here's our coins for when we're completing that. So that's about the first half hour of the day. One boy leaves, the other boy stays, and then I have 3 others that come in. I have 4 students I would call my self-contained squad. So first thing we do is the weather every day. This is part of Newst Unique Learning System. I have 1 student that uses the iPad because they need the touchscreen component, and then I have 3 others that are working on their Chromebook, so we just sign it with Google. So this is the Newst U article for the week, but we'll cover that later. The communication board goes with the Newst U document. So
drive, construction equipment, dump truck.
Fun, but that's not exactly what we're using. So my 4 students do this. I have other students in their classrooms, obviously, that are doing morning meetings, beginning foundations, phonics lessons, whatever their teachers have planned for them. So let's say, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Jack Hartman has a really good catchy March song. We do the Jack Hartman song pretty much every single day. Otherwise, we know January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. What month is it? March. Oh, what day is it? That's the 22nd. And if you look over here, let me zoom in. Right there, that little pocket chart, that's usually wherever the kids are too, so they can see what the day is, what the month is, and the number. That's a target last year. And then you can pick the weather, so it was kind of foggy today.
More options.
Say dreary. Cold. And then you get to choose a person, pick what they're wearing. So we try to get to the kids to pick an appropriate outfit. So like today it's 38, so we wouldn't want to be wearing shorts. And we do this every single day, so they can do it all independently.
Tops.
Big fans of the rain boots here.
Boots. Hat. Winter hat. A scarf. Outer winter coat.
Hooray!
Today's weather. Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. Dreary and cold.
Voila. And I come over here to these drawers, daily functional sheets. I have all 5 days clipped together, so either they come get it if they're the first one, or I'll hand them out. So Mondays we'll be talking about the temperature, a very old-fashioned looking vacuum cleaner. This is like the step 1, so the answers are right there. They're not having to, produce 6:30 down here, like they just have to match the clock. We talk about science, we talk about money, we talk about the weather, and again, this is exactly what they were just doing on the weather, so it's pretty easy. We do it every single day, and then obviously there are different pages for every single day. This is from Adulting Made Easy. I'm pretty sure it's a Teachers Pay Teacher thing. And then the students go over by the smartboard and they grab their name sleeve out of there. It's got some of them it's just a first name, some of it's a first and last, and then there's a student's working on cursive with his name, and it's something they can do independently. Again, go get your name sleeve. We do it every day.
And then if it's a B, a D, or an E day, I have 3 students that go to adaptive physical education. If it's an A or a C day, we do a craft. I don't know what day it is when we come back on Monday, but this is what we're doing. So here's the inspo, beautiful screenshot pic, insert here. You're just taking tissue paper that we've used as a previous craft already. I don't remember what we were doing. And then you paint on with glue and tissue paper. You stick the bunny on top, you stick a cotton ball in for the tail, and voila, you've got yourself an art project. That brings us to 9 o'clock. So in Unique Learning Systems, last unit we were talking about landforms. So we're finishing up this, we live on Earth, our state is Wisconsin. Right now we're doing sounds, but we still have these that we've been covering because we're still struggling to know that our state is Wisconsin. For some reason, North Dakota is in their head. And this is, again, Unique Learning Systems. And we are going to do this every day until we get it right. And now I'm going to screen record this and hope for the best. Okay, I'm really hoping that you can hear me now. So let's get to it. So first of all, we would go to Unique Learning Systems. This is obviously the teacher view, but I can show you the same things. No blocks today because it's spring break. I set the unit date to be like that, but I can go to my monthly plans. I can see the week, and then you can see here is my plan for Monday. Obviously, I don't have any of the social studies or science assigned because we've already finished a lot of that unit. I think this is the last week of the unit, if I remember. Yes, so I have to set the new unit after next week. So you'll see there's this little exclamation mark here. That means, hey, you need to pick what you want. You're not going to be able to see that on that side of the screen because I have it hidden. But you can click these little down arrows to choose what you want the students to be working on. So, like, I have students that really like these. Some are already selected for you, but you can choose more. And the geometry, spatial sense is ones that they really like. Time, on the other hand, not exactly their favorite, but we need to work more on our analog clocks. And so most of the time we're just doing math independently and then having the adults in the room assisting. We don't do anything at the smartboard just because
3, 4, 5.
by the minutes, look at the big hand. And so they have an adult or one of my university students helping them out. We're just a lot more confident at math than we are with reading.
6 o'clock a.m.
And not every day, but some days we do connecting math concepts. So earlier, that group was in orange, so that's about the first grade level. They're at about the end of first grade, though, so we're almost ready to start green. My squad, we're in red right here. And so that's like the basic number formation, basic counting, counting on, counting by tens, that sort of thing. So that's what the workbook looks like. Still forming numbers and basic addition and subtraction. So then you can see I set the math ones, and then usually Tuesday morning I'll go in and I'll set that one. And then for reading and language, I'll show you everything that you can see right there, kind of the expectations of the minutes, but I don't know, sometimes it varies. If I click that direct block, it'll show you the vocabulary portion, so I can show you that. So we'll do this whole group. We explain synonyms and antonyms. This is based on the stories that we're already reading.
Find the similar word. Sound. Book. Noise. Paper.
And so this is why we do it whole group, because they can't necessarily read that right now, but otherwise they're just gonna be like looking for that green and they're not necessarily reading it. So if you do it whole group, we talk about find the similar words, sound, book, noise, paper. Which one sounds the same? Oh, noise. And that's level 3. So I have students right now in level 1 and 2. So I always do the level 3 ones. Like I'm the one doing the answering. But then this one, level 3, find the similar word here. Is it read, walk, or listen? Which ones do you use your ears for? Oh, listen. Find the similar word, see. Look, ignore, sleep. What do you use your eyes for?
Look.
Looking. Yay. Okay, you get the picture. So like level 2, you can see that in the corner. Now this has pictures. So what do you use your ears for? Which one? Oh, noise. So we're doing all this whole group. And then level 1, errorless learning. There's only the one option.
Noise.
So then after we've done all of this together on the smartboard, the students will go back to their seats and they'll do it on their own computer.
Yes, I know there's no blocks. So that's supposed to take about 15 minutes. You can see right there. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on how quickly we're moving through things and how much we're participating. So you can see this one, it's kind of cut off a little bit. So comprehension, fluency, decoding, practice, shared reading of the leveled book. What does Paris hear? And so we have the paper copies of these on the bulletin board.
It is early in the morning. Paris is in her bed. The house is silent.
So I have levels AA, C, and D. Those three have those leveled books, and then I have one student who will listen to it like this, because we're not at the reading stage yet. So it's about 15 minutes. Fun thing about the D one, if I remember after this, I'll show you, there's a matching component to it too, so you can test their comprehension. So like right here, Paras or myself, we just come here, grab the book we need. And you're reading these every single day, so the words are very familiar to the students. They correspond with our sight word wall, so we take these down when we're doing those. It's early in the morning. Paris is in her bed. The house is silent. Oh, the house is silent. Match the picture. Good job, Bobby Joe. Paris hears a tap, tap, tap. Her mom is tapping on the door. Paris hears a swish, swish, swish. Oh no, it's the faucet. You get the picture. I'll show you the AA one. So this is the easiest one, obviously. Tap, tap, quiet. Bzz, bzz, loud. So self-selected reading, that means that they're visiting the News 2 library. So you can see this is where they would get the ones that they would be working on at their seats. These are ones that I've already assigned to students that are separate activities, and obviously the ones that I was just talking about aren't going to show up here because it's not a school day. But if we go over here to library books, you can see these are ones I've assigned to the students that relate to things that we're learning about. So, and there's the leveled book about science, there's some machines, lane farms, that's a holiday that we just had, so all different things. Like that's our state, we're talking about it in social studies as well, all fun and dandy things. So let's pick the zoo.
Holidays at the zoo. The animals at the zoo celebrate. They celebrate the holidays every year.
So right here it says writing time, sharing 20 minutes. That's if you're doing the writing from Unique Learning Systems, and I don't. I'm using this from Enchanted Learners. It's something I pay, I think, $20 a month for. Totally worth it. So these are on with Velcro so that they can take the single one they need, or they can take the entire sheet if they want to. So it's an entire packet filled with all of those words, the March words, obviously. Themes change every month. The one prior to this was Groundhog's Day, different vocabulary things, different labeling. There's like stories you can do in the back. So we do that for about 20 minutes. It's a nice change of pace from computer work because you're doing cutting, gluing, coloring, that sort of thing. And then we go back to Unique Learning System reading. For writing, we then move on to phonemic awareness and phonics, which we use this, but we also use foundations.
H. House.
So we don't necessarily pay attention to the H house because we do H hat, and that's foundations, but I like the practice of them matching the word. So hum. Again, we do this on the board together so that we're not just guessing and looking for that green box. And this is level 3, I think. Yeah, level 3. So 3 options. Level 2 has less words. And level 1, it's just all
Here.
errorless.
Hum.
And then we would do, there's one more.
F. Fish.
Thing. Oh, it makes the sound. Fork.
Fork.
So we do the H1 together on the smartboard, they come do it independently. They all finish, we come back to the smartboard. We do the F1, then we come back to do it independently. When they're done with that, you can see on our high frequency words, so using the word wall. So the students love doing this on their computer.
Not. Black.
So I let them click through here so they can listen to the words themselves.
At. marker.
And then I'll pull them off the word wall and I'll have them practice the words without being able to click them. And again, we do this every single day for about a month. So by the end of the month, a lot of my students are able to do it. So then that brings us to spelling. There's spelling tests that you can use. So just depending on where you are in the sequence of the units, like this is spelling list 3, so the 3rd week there's spelling list 4, the 4th week start with tracing, and then we move on to these where there's the spaces for them to write the letters so they know how many letters they need, and then eventually some of my students can do it where I say cite and they can just write it on the table and they don't need a model like this or like this. Then you can see over here on this side, continued read aloud. So that's the easy read book. So that's Grumpy Mr. G. That's in the Unique Learning Library. They just listen to it. They really like the book. There's comprehension activities related to that book. So first they listen to the book, then we do this. So you can see there's 3 activities. What shines into Mr. G's eyes? Is it light, a pillow, or a TV? Is it pillow?
Pillow.
No. Then they go do it by themselves. That was level 3. This one's level 2. Level 1. So answer questions from the story using Grumpy Mr. G to help you. Who is the story about? Is it about Mr. G, Drew, or Miss B? Ah, it's Mr. G.
Mr. G.
Again, this is level 3. There's no pictures. What makes him grumpy?
Light from his window wakes him up. He uses curtains to make his room dark. Bedroom.
And then here's level 1 and 2, so they've got pictures.
Mr. G.
And so this is another one of those where I have the paper copy of this as well, just to make sure that there's kids not finding the green box and the noises. And I know which kids need the paper copy and which are okay with the digital copy. And then the last one. What's the story about? What happened in the beginning? Oh, Mr. G. Oh, there's so much sunlight coming in.
Mr. G is grumpy. The sunlight wakes him up.
And at this time, I have 1 para that's in with 5th grade, helping with 5th grade math, and then I have 2 paras in here working with the students. So then there's 3 adults and 4 students in here. But keep in mind, at this time, a lot of the school is doing Wit and Wisdom, which is our Gen Ed reading curriculum. And if there's a reading test happening, or maybe someone needs their math test read to them, they just come in and one of the paras has to break off, or I break off, and we read that test to the student, or we take them somewhere to have a quiet space to take that test. So it's not like there's always 3 adults in the room. There's often only a couple, and there's just kids coming and going as needed to follow their individual plans. And then that includes the students that are on break charts. So like I have a student who earns 3 tokens and then he gets to come in and have a break. So it's always just kids in and out at all times. We finish work early. Some kids work on Raz Kids. They work on Writing Wizard, that app on the iPad. I have some that'll work on the CVC blending, others that work on line tracing. This is a money binder. And then I have 1 student who works on sound partners every day because he's a fast finisher. So he does this weekly. So 2 E's make the chur E, 2 E's make E. E is our new vowel team. We do this every single day, the same packet. So lesson 47 we'll do the entire week. You know, stories, sight words, considered an intensive intervention. And then it has books, the Bob books that go along with it. So we'll do a Bob book, and then I'll let him pick a Pete book that he would like to read. So then at 10:30, kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade go to lunch. I help feed a student at that time. And then 3, 4, and 5 go outside for recess. Generally, there's no recess problems, but if there is, then I have to hand off the kid that I'm helping feed because other paras are at lunch. It's a whole ordeal, so I really hope for no recess drama. And then same thing with if there's any behaviors happening in the morning that I have to go intervene in, then the para kind of tries to do their best to take over the instruction in here. I do the same routine every day, so it's doable to pick it up, but it's just better if I do it because I'm the one that's preparing all the things, so I know what should be coming next. That's just ideal. At about 11 o'clock, K1, 2 go outside for recess, and then 3, 4, 5 come in for lunch. I eat lunch with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders just because it's a chaotic time, and I like to reduce the chaos, and if it means I have to eat lunch with the students, so be it. If I don't eat with them, there's generally chaos that I have to intervene on anyway, so I'd rather be there to prevent the chaos from happening. After lunch, I have students coming in for either System 44 or Reading Mastery, so I'll show you that. So I have 5 students that come in that are working on a System 44. It has like a book component, it has a workbook, it has a little decodable reader, has hands-on activities that they can participate in too, and then the computer part. Zap.
Quiz. Quack. 4. Will. Van. No. From. Depending on the day, there's either 2 kids doing the computer or 3 kids doing the computer. The older kids work out of the System 44 workbook. I'll show you that. So this has a teacher version, so I can project everything. We can talk about it. Sometimes there's videos and articles that go along with it, like right here. So we'd have these that we would read on the smartboard. There's generally a video. Yeah, watch the video and complete the outline, and we would talk about that. So if they're not doing the software, we're working on this, or we're reading the leveled books from the leveled library, which they also have digital versions. I just prefer the paper copy version. If it's this group's computer time, then I'm doing Reading Mastery with a different group. So it's a direct instruction, tells you everything to say. Here are the sounds you'll be making. Different words you can practice, different sounds. The story that you read to go along with the lesson that you just taught. And then a workbook that goes along with the story and the lesson you just taught. It all makes sense. So that's about a half an hour. And then it's when it gets all confusing. We switch to specials. So A, B, C, D, E. Every 5 days they do the same thing. And of course, none of my kids are doing the same thing because I have every single grade. So it's mostly just one hot mess. So sometimes we're doing News 2, which goes along with the unique learning system, but it's like its own separate entity. So I started with News 2 last year, really liked it, and then got unique learning system this year, which I really like. So here's the News 2 story for the week. I've talked about this on this channel before. You probably have seen it, but anyways, let's do it again. Current issues. We just did this last week, so we'll do this one. The Diggin' Zone. New articles show up every Thursday-ish. So we read the newspaper together.
Diggin' Zone theme park.
Same symbols that show up in Unique Learning System, which is really nice.
It is for kids and adults.
Gives you links so that you can learn more. Most of the time they don't want to learn more. They just want to be done. But there are videos. Ooh, so cool. So we take turns. Sometimes the kids are reading and sometimes they're being the one to go up and touch it because our reading is something we're working on. Just depends on the kid. At this time I either have 5th graders in here reading that are very capable of doing so. Sometimes it's the 3rd graders. Sometimes it's my self-contained squad. It just depends on the day. It's very dependent on the schedule. Digging dirt dip, so that's a recipe. We do that sometime within the week. Looks delicious. So I print that out in color. I display it by the door so they can see and they don't have to ask me what we're making that week. We do that together on the smartboard. We do this together on the smartboard, but also I give them the paper copy version. So this paper and this paper everybody gets, and then my older students, come on, loading. My older students get this one. And then on some days, if we've already read the article, we do sometimes the extension activity. Just depends on the day. Usually it's more things related to the article.
Diggin' Zone theme park. Diggin' Zone theme park is a construction theme park. People can operate real construction equipment at Diggin' Zone. Let's learn more about construction equipment. Construction workers use construction equipment to build things.
So this again, it'll have comprehension questions throughout, just depending on what you've been reading. It's really great if I need a time filler. But otherwise, then at that time, other days of the week, the kids are working on the activity page. So this is a packet they get. You can download all of it and I give it to them. Just what relates to them best. You can see there's different levels again. So like you don't need the whole packet. You only need certain activities that, you know, the student needs work on. Also, they have this breaking news section. So if I have more time to fill, there's 3 new articles a week, I think, that are added. So just depending on what's going on in the world.
This is the scariest but most efficient stapler you've ever seen. This is what my younger kids are working on. Basic cutting, coloring, following directions. Circle what needs to be capital letters. Put the small thing with the big thing. You get the picture. And then my older kids, I've really pared down to what we actually need to do because, well, my older kids, they've been doing this for 4 years now and they really get it. So we talk about the geography. We do a graphing activity. I make them do time to the half hour and the quarter hour because we're still working on that with some kids. Punctuation, question mark, period. We're still working on what. Is that a question word or not? And well, I have some guessers that would just give it a 50% shot. Also, you'll notice on some of these, the answers are on the bottom. So like this one for the punctuation, it is on the bottom. And I'm surprised I haven't had any wise guys figure that out. It would be the kid that can't figure out the difference between the question mark and the exclamation mark to see that the answers are on the bottom and just cheat off of that. Kids are resourceful. Who, what, when, where, why. Depending on the article, sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. Especially like the whys and the what. Those can be very similar for the kids. This one, sentence completion, reading the words. So for example, this is the level 3. The level 2 for my younger kids has the pictures next to it. So for this one, they cut out the pictures and then they glue it in the spot to make the sentence make sense. A little maze to be fun, and then some cursive. And that's all the big kids do. They can get this done in like 10 minutes, no problem. My younger kids, they need to do it every single day, and even then they don't finish all the time at the end of the week, which is fine because they oddly really enjoy homework. This is the recipe for the week, digging dirt dip. This one is super easy, and the best thing is I have vanilla wafers left over from last week's activity. There was a basketball cookie. So all I need to do is buy Cool Whip, a box of brownie mix, and I think that is that just a stick? I don't know my cream cheese very much, but easy, cheap stuff I already have. And then also has a science, and it has a craft. The craft, we're making a paper excavator. Super fun, super easy. They give you the template shapes and everything. So most of these, I'll keep the template and I'll use it for something else when construction type things come up. And then this one, the science experiment, sometimes it's give or take on whether I do it or not. But like this one looks really fun. So basically you're building towers with newspaper. So I have to find some newspaper. But yes, should be fun. So I'm in 5th grade Wit and Wisdom at this time, but this is what a pair is working on with some of the students in here. We've got trick words, so we'll do every single one in Unit 1. You can select the ones that you want. You can deselect the ones you don't want, so that takes a decent amount of time. And then we'll go to sound cards, pick the ones you want. Again, it's all foundations, we do it every single day. SH, ship, sh, CK, sock, k, Y, yellow, yeah, you get the point. And then we make words, so Parrot just picks the words that she wants to make. Kids read them. All is great and dandy. Do that for about 5 minutes, either doing stories or they'll pick out the foundation's tile boards or they'll grab the whiteboards and write words on that too. Then about 1:30 comes around. I'm still in 5th grade doing Wit and Wisdom, but I have students in here working on things. So I have different drawers like this. So pattern blocks, letter hunting. There is a Play-Doh drawer. They don't do that every day, but sometimes roadmap is like for tracing. Just a lot of like hands-on activities. or they'll come over here. They'll pick activities out of here just based on the skill that the student is working on. Again, we know our students pretty well, so they know what they need. Or if the student needs errorless learning, the kindergarten teacher gave me these. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but she gave them to me. We'll set them there for now. But all of this is file folder activities. So some of it's errorless, some of it's like beginning number letter matching. This is all colors, shapes, hearts, you know, different things. Some of these are just simple, like put the object on the Velcro tasks. Yes, everything in there is file folders. And then there's others that are just like little task box bundles. So, you know, putting the green dinosaurs in the green cup, putting the candies inside of the piñata, putting the little feathers on the peacock, put the pickup sticks into the sugar shaker jar. So 2 o'clock rolls around with social skills. Right now we're working a lot on working as a group and showing empathy. I have different activities and social stories over there. Sometimes we're working on things like emotional Uno is a big winner, or this is the website I use. The district pays for this. You can see different things that we were working on: conversation skills, playing with friends, respecting adults, caring for others. So you can browse the full curriculum, find what you want to do. So sometimes I just start at number 1 and I just keep working my way. Or if I know, like, oh, today Joey had a problem on the playground, maybe I'll go to play skills, asking others to play. There's a video you can talk about, there's a paper, there's another video, a little review. It just depends on, you know, what the student needs. Or I can browse by material. So sometimes I'll look for a video if I already have an activity planned. If we finish what we're doing, we'll pick a game. And the nice thing is it's all related to social skills, and they really like it.
Sunny the sunflower doesn't know how to ask her friend Frankie to play. Sunny put her body near her friend Frankie, got his attention, and asked him to play.
Or like this one's conversation match. Starting a conversation. Oh, not stop, like, go. These are all topics that we talk about. Practice starting a conversation with your teacher, and I make them do it before we do another one. Show how your body should look when you talk to a friend. So again, you're playing the game, but you're also getting some good social skills practice out of it. And that brings us to about 2:20, 2:30, where we mad scramble to get our assignment notebooks done, get the kids on the bus, and they're out of here. So you'll notice I didn't talk about prep time because I'm going to be honest, maybe about once a week I have about 10 minutes of time where I don't have kids absolutely everywhere in need of assistance, but it's fine. I like being busy and the day goes by so quick. So I know this is a very, very long video, so I'm just going to end it right here. If you have any questions about anything I've already talked about in this video, just leave a comment down below and maybe I'll make another video related to your question. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one.